A very warm welcome to all the students of 5th semester of final BBA. Now we happen to come to the next semester. In this particular new semester, this semester and the next semester, in the final year, you will be having specialization subjects, and the specialization that we have in our college for BBA is marketing. So under the marketing specialization subjects, one of the subject happens to be global marketing. So this particular semester I'll be teaching you global marketing classes. So before we start off with our classes, let's have a glimpse on the syllabus of our global marketing. So the entire syllabus is consists of 5 units. Unit 1 is about the introduction, what actually is the global marketing, what the classification of the markets, barriers, tariff and non-tariff barriers, and the various stages of global marketing, and similarly those particular factors that affect global marketing. So these aspects cover unit 1, and in the second unit we look towards the selection of the foreign markets. Now what do we mean by that, and what are the parameters for choosing a particular market, what are the different modes of entry into global market, and among this particular modes, which particular mode multinational companies generally use, and what are the modes that are available in our own country. So all these particular aspects we will be discussing in unit 2. In the third unit, it consists of product selection of global markets. Here we are going to look into global market product policy, product standardization, international or global product life policy, what are the various product strategies that are got. Similarly, what are the promotional aspects or promotional strategies of global market. So what we have to understand here is different strategies used by the MNC companies, and how MNC companies brand their global products and how they promote them. So all such aspects which with regarding to product life cycle, with regarding to promotion, and with regarding to product strategies. So these things will be covering in the third unit, that is product selection of global markets. And the next unit, the fourth unit, revolves around pricing. What are the different factors that influence pricing, and in international markets what are the pricing terms, and similarly things like export pricing, transfer pricing, so which are common. And when as a global marketing student, we need to know tomorrow when you are being employed in multinational organizations, now they have this particular export pricing, transfer pricing concepts and all. So this particular subject gives you a better understanding. And finally in the fifth chapter, the fifth unit, we have promotion and channels of distribution. All right, so what are the various factors affecting the channel decision, and under this particular factor factors of channel decision, foreign agents identification, motivation, and how we control this particular foreign agents, all these particular things will be covered under promotion and channels of distribution. Right, students? So what we have to understand is this particular syllabus or this particular subject called global marketing helps you to gain a better understanding on the marketing function of a multinational company. An organization like Coca-Cola, which is present in more than 200 plus countries, and other multinational organizations, these giant organizations we have got spread across the 5 continents. Now how marketing function is carried out in this particular organization, it gives a better picture. So tomorrow when you are being recruited as a brand executive, when you are recruited as product executive or as a promotion manager for any of these multinational companies, you will be in a better position to handle your jobs. You will be in a better position to understand the responsibilities that you shoulder. So now here we also have the reference textbooks. This particular slide talks about them. So we have got foreign authors as well as Indian authors. One of the most common followed foreign author textbook in case of global marketing happens to be Susan Douglas and Samuel Craig's Global Marketing Strategy. The publisher is Tata McGraw-Hill. And in case of Indian authors, we have R. Srinivasan, International Marketing Prentice Hall. Similarly, International Marketing, Francis Cherunilam. Francis Cherunilam is a very common name in higher education, especially in the field of business administration, right? So his textbook published by Himalaya Publications is also available. Now some of these textbooks are available in our own library. In case you are interested, you can come borrow this particular textbooks as and when the lockdown is lifted. Now we move on to our first unit. So the first unit in the first topic that we have in unit 1 is it helps us to familiarize, it helps us to gain understanding on this particular field of study, on this particular subject called as global marketing. So now let's start with the introduction. Now what actually is a global marketing? What do we mean by global marketing? So what we need to understand, now the marketing function has become amplified, right? The marketing function has become amplified. Today in the 21st century, we live in an era of multinational organizations. We live in an era of multinational corporations, especially in the consumer driven industry. In certain categories like cell phones, or like groceries, or some other categories, we hardly, say if you want to buy a television, you hardly find an Indian brand, and customers are not showing inclination to purchase a Videocon TV or an Oneida TV. And today's generation, when you ask your own self, if you ask, now what is this particular TV that you are going to buy, you'll either say LG, Samsung, Sony, Panasonic, and none of them are the Indian brands. Now same is the case. Early morning you wake up and then you want to clean your mouth, you want to brush your teeth, and if I ask you what is the toothbrush that you're using, you end up saying it's Close Up, and most of you end up saying it's Colgate and Sensodyne, these particular things. And none of them are in Indian brands. All of them are multinational organizations. So from morning to evening, we are today using only multinational products, right? And this particular multinational products are owned by multinational organizations. So tomorrow when we enter into this particular organization, we need to have an understanding on how to market them, and that is what this entire subject is all about, global marketing. Alright, now let's look how global marketing came in, and how it has evolved, and so on and so forth. So just a few months back, not few months back, just a few decades back, say like in 1960s or in 1970s, if I have to send a product, if I have to send something from India to United States, or if my brother who is working in United States, he buys me some product and then he wants to send me home, now that would take ages, literally ages, believe me. Okay, it was not that easy. So that particular time the world was not wired. Now during those particular days, the world is not a small place, things are very far off. Right, today the world has become very small thanks to globalization. And thanks to internet, the world has become very small. The space and time have drastically reduced. Today products are available at our fingertips. Now some of these particular products may be available in India, some of these particular products may be available in abroad. Alright, even if you are ordering a product from Japan, you are ordering a product from France, you are ordering a product from United States, it will only take couple of weeks, not even a month. At the maximum, it's going to take couple of weeks, right? So all the way from couple of months, we have come down to that. Okay, so much has happened in this particular area of globalization thanks to our global marketing. So when we look at the definition, now how do we define something called as global marketing? Now global marketing can be defined as identifying the needs, wants and demand of global customers and making the product or services available to them either through own manufacturing or outsourcing, and distributing the product or service at places convenient for consuming. So what we need to understand here, when we look at the definition has not changed much. It's the same definition. Right? We are still talking about identifying the needs of the consumers. We are still talking about identifying the wants of the consumers. Now fulfilling this particular wants through a product or service. Right? What has changed is this particular target customers have increased. So we are today, our target customer is the globe. Today our target customer is the world. And then this particular retailing has changed. The way we are distributing a product has changed. Today we are talking about distributing the product at places convenient for consuming. Now these are the changes that are coming. Alright. So we have to amplify, we happen to amplify this particular function of global market, this particular function of marketing at a global scale. Now that's what is our global marketing all about. Okay. So when we look at the meaning of global marketing, now the backbone or the pillar of support for global marketing happens to be globalization. And what do we mean by globalization? Globalization means integrating the economy of a nation, of a country, with the world economy or global economy. Now how do you do that? We do that by inviting foreign direct investments, and we ourselves, our own countries, our own organizations, they invest in the countries abroad. Alright. So crisscross investments, we going and investing in the abroad, and those country and those organizations, multinational organizations from abroad, coming and investing in our own country. So this is what we say as integrating our economy with the global economy. Right? Now when did this particular global marketing emerge? The global marketing emerged in the 20th century. When I talk about 20th century, we are talking about a time period between 1900 to 2000. Right. So in the last decade of the 20th century is 1990s. So that's when this particular global marketing started coming to the picture. Around 1990s, see, after the Second World War in the 1940s, we had Cold War for almost 4 decades. In 1990s, the Berlin Wall was taken down, the Iron Curtain was removed, and that's when the globalization started happening in its true sense. Right, exactly at the same time, back in Asia, in countries like us, in countries like China, in other Southeast Asian nations, and even towards this West Asian nations like Gulf countries and all of these particular countries, they started opening up their economies. They started inviting multinational companies into their soil. They started inviting foreign direct investments. Now that's when in the 90s, this particular globalization is taken off. Right, when these particular changes are happening around the world, Dr. Manmohan Singh, the then finance minister, in year 1991 July, he has introduced globalization in our own nation. Right, so that's when this particular global marketing has actually taken off in the 90s. Now when we look at the characteristics of globalization, right, how do we define, what is the nature of this particular globalization? Some of the characteristics of globalization include this operations. They do everything in a large scale operation. Production happens to be, see, for example, i20 cars. In India, for every 100 i20 cars of Hyundai, in India they sell only 20. The balance 80 are being exported. So they are not manufacturing only 20 i20 cars. They are manufacturing 100 i20 cars. Right, because 80 cars they are exporting. So they have this large scale operation happens to be one of the characteristics. Similarly, the scope is not limited to a country, it's not limited to one particular region. The world is your scope. And technology has increased. So today we are having far advanced technology. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about machines taking over humans. Similarly, now this particular dominance of multinational is the in thing. So everywhere around the world today, we do not have domestic companies. We only have multinational organizations. So that's again one sign. Okay, so finally, we also have trading blocks like SAARC, okay, NATO, and all these particular trading blocks happen to help us in integrating. So these are the characteristics of our global marketing. So with this particular slide, I end my class here. So we will again meet in the next class with a new topic that is in our syllabus. I wish all of you a pleasant day. Thank you.